All right, here's Gilbert Gottfried, who is miserable. Everyone I know who knows Gilbert through the grapevine says he is at the most miserable point in his life, and there's nothing funny going on. The day the comedy died is the day he knocked up that chick.
I don't hear the same stories you're hearing.
I heard he got married, and he's fucking ready to kill himself.
I heard... No, you got to switch it back.
Go back.
Yeah. I heard that he loves this whole situation. He's so into the baby.
Yes.
That he's
Where did you hear that?
They planned it together.
That's nice.
And that he is the greatest. He is so into this, he can't wait for the baby.
Weirdness.
Who did you hear that from?
I know somebody who knows the Mrs. Gilbert.
Well, she's saying that. That's her story.
This is what she's telling people.
I know people who work with Gilbert who are saying Gilbert is like on the phone ready to hang himself every day. Gilbert.
Yeah.
What's the real story here? You did get married, right?
Yeah.
Oh. How was the ceremony? Was it a big wedding?
No, as small as possible. Yeah.
Who was at the wedding? I have to ask you. Anyone from your family?
Yes.
Sister?
Yeah.
That's it?
And who else?
Yeah.
Friends?
And then just some relatives of hers.
A whole bunch of her relatives and your sister.
Yeah.
How did you keep the helicopters and the paparazzi?
Yeah, exactly.
What about your management, like people? Were they there? The guy who runs your website?
No. And Brooke Shields wasn't there. And, yeah.
Now, I only heard sort of sketchy details.
I heard Brooke Shields wasn't there.
Yes. All of my Scientologists friends were there.
What was shocking...
and Jada Pinkett Smith?
Yes.
What was shocking to me is that it was a traditional Jewish wedding, like under a chuppah.
Oh, really?
Am I right or am I wrong?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Were you at, like, some hotel, ballroom?
They kind of built it themselves, kind of thing. Yeah.
Why did you have a... I mean, are you really Jewy?
No.
Is your wife Jewish?
I shop at the 99-cent store, so that way I'm Jewy.
No, but I mean...
No, I was never bar mitzvahed.
And your wife, is she a Jewess?
Well, I guess they can't avoid it.
Right.
Yeah.
She's Jewish. So... Was that important to you to be married by a rabbi?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Did you step on the glass and do all that stuff? Wow.
Oh, is there tape of it?
Yeah, I wish.
Can't we put that on Howard TV?
Yeah, that tape getting around would be bigger than Pam Anderson's. Right. Yeah.
Did you have a videographer for you to record this moment?
Yeah.
You did.
It'll wind up somewhere in some porn store.
Did you watch it? Did you and your wife?
No, I have a hard time looking at it.
And did you wear a tuxedo or a suit?
I actually wore a suit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Where'd you get the suit? Did you have to go to a tailor? Like, did you stand there and get measured and pick out the color and all that? I mean, you must have been out of your wife probably made you do all that.
Did you wear the bow tie, or was it a long tie?
Do you know I didn't even wear a tie? That's me being a rebel.
I see.
Oh, yes. I see.
Yeah.
No tie.
That's me being James Dean.
You're in show business.
Yeah.
You don't need to wear a tie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Gilbert's famous.
Yes,
okay.
he doesn't wear a tie.
Yeah. And so you go there, the rabbi, and was he a very Jewy rabbi? Or like
No, actually it was her aunt. I think it was basically one of those, like, for $50 become... a
rabbi.
Yeah, become anything you want.
In the back of a magazine.
Rabbi, minister, yeah.
Are you... Is it true what I hear, that you're miserable, like you're freaking out? Like it's almost like you had to marry her kind of thing, or you regret your decision?
I walk around miserable. I don't know if I'm more miserable now than I ever did.
Is it horrible sharing your apartment with another pregnant human being?
Oh, my God. Wait till the baby comes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Are you gonna get help, like someone to help you with the baby, like to move in, like a black woman or something?
Right. Now he's got to live with black people?
Yeah, he's going to be living with black people.
No, Dad. That's the worst part of this.
He's been trying to avoid that all his life.
Holy mackerel.
Where's Mr. Godfrey?
Oh, Mr. Gilbert.
No, seriously, when is the baby coming?
I think June.
I think.
Yes. Yeah.
You know when it's coming.
You've been. I've heard you've been going to the appointments and sitting there during the sonograms and all the stuff. You've been doing it.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Wow.
I went to one sonogram.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do one every week.
Are you excited at all about being a dad? I heard you were, like, flipping out. Like, this is something, I guess it was an accident or something, right?
No, it was planned.
No, that's what the wife is saying.
Tell him, Gilbert, that you and she planned this.
Did you plan this, baby?
Well, she did, certainly.
Yeah.
But you were in on it. She didn't just put a hole in your condom.
Yeah.
Are you flipping out?
Which reminds me of an old dirty joke.
Do you know?
Jackie probably told.
Let's hear it.
Do you know the sex of the baby?
Yes.
What do you have?
I'll reveal that when it happens.
Oh, really? It's a big secret.
Yeah. It'll be a big secret, so Entertainment Tonight will follow me.
Are you selling the pictures?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what would be worse. You was the father of a girl or a boy?
What would be worse?
Oh, either way, it's horrible.
Let's hope there's a new sex we can create.
Do you think this baby will, in its teen years, will it socialize with Zahara Pitt and Sulu Pitt?
I know you don't like your own looks. Are you afraid that the baby will not be good looking?
Can you imagine a little Gilbert walking around?
Hopefully
I always thought you look a little Asian. Do you have Asian blood in you?
That's George Takei.
That's me, right here.
Oh, hi. How are you? That was very scary.
When I first saw your photo, I thought you were Asian.
Oh, yes.
Do you?
Are you Asian?
I've gotten that before.
Yeah,
I'm sure you have.
One time I was walking down the street, and a guy asked me for my autograph, and he thought I was that guy who ran the deli around from David Letterman.
Oh, Rupert.
Yeah.
Rupert the deli guy?
Yeah.
He was very Asian.
Well, you still haven't answered the question. Do you have a little Asian blood in you?
Well, why are you offering?
Would you like a little Asian in you?
Would you like a little Asian blood in you? I would like to inject some Asian blood.
You know, Gilbert, George is honoring us all week by being our announcer, and he is out of the closet, as you know. Did you know he recently came out of the closet?
Yes.
Not so recently.
Well, a couple of years, 2 years.
A couple of years
3 years.
ago.
Yeah. So,
Not out of the closet. I talked to the press.
Right.
We've been out of the closet for a long time.
Right. Gilbert, I just didn't know if you knew that.
Oh, yes.
And some Asian blood can be arranged for your baby.
Can be put into me. Yeah, so these were the two I was mistaken for that Rupert.
Are you excited that you're going to have a baby?
What?
Are you excited?
Oh, yes, very.
Because I've talked to you privately. You're freaking out.
And I just before I forget, I was mistaken for Mr. Moriarty from
Pat Morita?
Pat Morita.
Right.
One time someone thought I was him. Those were the two.
Wow. What an honor.
Now, when you say you've talked to Gilbert privately, do you mean he called you on the phone?
No, I mean, I've talked to him when we leave the studio.
I see.
And I go, Gilbert, are you going to be okay? And he's like, I don't know.
You think that's all real?
Off the air, he's a different man now. He is completely fogged out. He can't even concentrate. He is so nervous. Is it weird sharing your apartment with the wife?
Yes, that's very weird.
Did you go on a honeymoon?
Yeah.
Oh, where'd you go?
Ooh. Where did you go?
Well, it was part of, I was already working in San Francisco.
I thought you didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh. Another one of those deals?
You were going to do a comedy show in San Francisco?
Oh, yeah.
Was that what was going on?
Oh, yeah.
A club?
Yeah.
And so you said to your wife, come with me, and that'll be our honeymoon?
She said, I'll come along. We'll stay an extra couple of days.
One of the biggest honeymoon destinations is the Punchline in San Francisco.
Was it romantic, your honeymoon, at all? Or?
Oh, yeah, can't you tell?
How pregnant was she at the time of the wedding?
You still banging her, or you don't bang her pregnant,
no.
do you? You turned off? She's not good enough for him. She's pregnant.
He's got the gumad working full-time now.
Really?
Did you have sex through the pregnancy at all?
No.
Nothing.
As soon as she said she was pregnant, that was it?
Yeah. I'm like Elvis Presley.
You're saying not even
in that way?
Not even in the first trimester?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so you haven't had that kind of sex.
You haven't even consummated your marriage. It's illegal.
You haven't fucked her even...
Well, thank you. Thank God. So I've got a loophole.
Even on the wedding night, you didn't bang her?
No.
Oh, my God. Wow. So Robin's right. You haven't consummated the marriage.
Oh, so I could still get out of it.
Yeah. It could still be annulled at this point.
Are you happy about this? Can you be real for a second? Are you happy about this, or are you still flipping out?
I'm still flipping out.
You are?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
How did this happen, Gilbert? I don't understand how it happens.
Well, that makes two of us. Yeah.
What's your take on this, Artie?
I don't know what Robin's hearing because he clearly seems very uncomfortable with the entire thing. I mean, I hope he's happy. And,
you hope he participates in the baby's life.
I think it would be better if he actually had Pat Morita or Rupert's money.
Do you have any sort of paternal feelings, like you want to cuddle the baby, or will you get up in the middle of the night and change a diaper? I mean, do you have any of those feelings?
Not so far.
Right.
Have you gone to, like, Lamar's class?
I think I'm going to be like Brooke Shields and, like, want to kill myself.
Oh, you're gonna be postpartum depressed, huh?
He's already called me for advice on how to raise a kid.
Have you ever taken...
Well, when the baby's hungry, you can give him a bottle. And if the baby has crap in its pants, it's usually advisable to change the diaper on him.
You're starting to sound like Georgie Jessel.
Yeah, because I was always...
Have you ever taken care of anything or anyone? Have you ever done any big...
I've always enjoyed being a replacement for Jackie modeling.
It's Artie Jessel.
Have you ever taken care of anyone? Have you ever had the opportunity to
Have you
care
changed,
for a
like,
baby?
a niece or nephew's diaper, or...
Or an uncle's diaper.
Boy, this smells disaster.
An uncle's diaper.
Poor you. I think you kind of just got caught up in it.
This will be a reality show.
Yeah. Wow. I met your wife. Is it weird? Have you called her like your wife? Do you say my wife?
Have you said my wife?
Yeah, I still haven't said it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know her name?
No.
I'm telling you, when he walks around with her, it's like a stranger.
He doesn't even introduce her?
No. It's the weirdest thing. You run into Gilbert, and then, like, I'll say, hey, Gilbert. And he goes, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
Right, not hello.
And then, like, the wife is just standing next to him, and then I'll go, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Why won't you introduce her? Is it like you're almost in denial? You don't want, you want to be a hard ass or something?
Yeah, it's like you introduced yourself to her, and then Beth introduced herself to her.
I know. Why won't you introduce her to anyone?
I don't know.
You lack all social skills and manners.
Yes.
Where were you raised? This is crazy. I mean, you've got to acknowledge her in some way and make her your equal.
Yes.
Did you see her ring?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't even know that there is. Is there a ring?
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those you blow into it and it goes...
Has she become Mrs. Gottfried? Has she changed her name to Gottfried?
I think so, yes.
You
yes,
think so?
I know it because I've seen it on letters.
Oh, she now signs her name. What's your wife's first name?
Dara.
Dara. So it's now Dara Gottfried.
Gottfried.
Yeah.
Wow, what a lucky woman. So, do you like that she has your name, or does it creep you out?
It's very strange.
It's strange. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you like about her, or do I mean, can you point, like, is there something that you fell in love with about her?
She's educated.
She's got that book learning.
Is there anything you love about her that you could point to?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You never said the words. I mean, how do you get married? You never said the words, I love you. You're not romantic.
Not romantic at all.
But you have said I love you.
Yeah.
You did?
When pushed into it.
Oh.
Just not to her.
Yeah.
Why did you marry her?
That's the question, Mr. Sulu. That is the question.
It's the little Asian in you speaking.
Why did you? Because you got her pregnant, right?
Well, many people get.
Well, no, she put her foot down, and I think they broke up at one point. From what I hear, like Gilbert will never confide in me, but I heard they broke up. I saw her at a party once a couple of years ago. They were done.
Oh, yeah?
And I think Gilbert came back because she said, look, either you get serious about me or fuck you.
Ah, yeah. And so I guess that all was in the mix. We're getting married. We're having children. That's what it means to take me back. That's
my best guess. And believe me, there were guys hitting on her. She could get on the guys.
I hear she's lovely.
Lovely. I hit on her. Wow, you haven't fucked her since you got married. That's weird. But everything's weird.
Do you think you'll do it after the baby's born?
I suppose.
You're not sure.
Yeah.
Do you have a room all decorated for the baby? You know, the Jews used to wait. They wait till the baby's born.
Yeah, they don't buy anything. Do you buy?
He's not going to buy anything after the baby is born.
After the baby moves out.
No, do you have a crib and do you have everything all set up?
Yep.
Yeah.
You fixed up a nursery?
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah.
Did that room used to be like your office or something and now it's gone?
It was just some extra room there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know they got a new place, so she probably already picked it out with a nursery in mind.
Oh. How many bedrooms you got? 3?
Yeah.
Do you touch her stomach to feel the movement of the baby?
Talk to the baby with that funny voice of yours?
You read stories to the baby? This is Dad, or do you ever get sentimental like that?
No.
You don't want to feel, you've never felt the baby kick? Or
No.
Never?
No.
You're not kidding, are you?
No.
You talk to the baby like a parent? What do you do, Gilbert?
Do you ever touch your wife's stomach?
Of course.
Yeah.
I was excited.
You got to feel the baby kick, yeah.
You never touched her stomach to feel the baby kick? That's amazing. It's almost like you want to act like the baby's not coming.
Yeah.
That his girlfriend just got fat.
Right.
Uh-oh, more bad news.
I know. I was looking at Gilbert's DVD. I was looking at the credits. You know that Dara and Gilbert are the executive producers of the DVD.
Wow, Gilbert. She's in the business?
She is. She's in the music business.
She's in Gilbert business.
Yeah, what?
Is she a manager? Is she managing you?
Not manager, but on that one, she sort of found someone, because I was always talking about, I should just get something to sell at the shows finally.
I see.
And she finally helped put it together.
I see.
Yeah.
Is she going to be more involved in Gilbert business?
Well, Gilbert, you wrote the DVD, and you came up with all the material for the DVD. You paid for the money.
Project?
I mean, I don't know what she did.
She probably helped figure out a way to get it packaged and distributed, which is for Gilbert difficult.
She made a couple of phone calls.
Hasn't she ever said to you, Gilbert, I want you to feel the baby, I want you to touch me?
Yeah.
And you just say, I'm not interested?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Does she feel hurt when you do that?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in the room when the baby is born?
That I don't know yet.
So it's a discussion. In other words, you've been invited, you just have not responded.
Can you imagine him standing there like a block of wood while they're trying to get this baby out of this woman?
Maybe that'll be the moment that'll make Gilbert
he'll become
bond with the
father,
baby.
Right?
No.
I cringe at those moments in every, sitcom or romantic comedy that has the birthing scene.
What do you think it is? Are you not allowed to have anything good in your life? Or you're not allowed to have any joy or emotion in your life? Is that what's going on?
Maybe that is it.
You feel you're being punished in some way?
Maybe.
Does she cry a lot, this woman you married, Dara?
Not so much in front of me.
But in other words, when this woman turns to you and she says, I'm being serious now, I got to know this.
Yes.
She says, Gilbert, the baby's kicking. You've got to feel this.
Yes.
You'll just go no and storm out of the room?
Not storm out, but I'll know and freeze up.
Do you explain? You go, listen, I'm very uncomfortable touching you?
Yeah.
And the baby?
Yes.
Are you two sleeping in the same bed? That's Gilbert getting out of town. But are you two sleeping in the same bed?
Yeah.
So sometimes...
Gilbert has a big nightshirt on when he goes to bed and a cap.
Has she recommended therapy for you at all in any way yet? No, seriously.
Oh, sure.
No, seriously.
Yes.
Are you doing it?
No.
But I'm just wondering, because even when, you're sleeping together, sometimes you cuddle, you can feel the baby kick, or
Gilbert
do you cuddle?
Gilbert doesn't want to do therapy because it might ruin his personality.
Right. What would happen if you got social graces?
I might not be as good on shows like Celebrity Paranormal. might hurt my...
You were the best one on that.
Yes.
You know, Gilbert is going to be, even despite the fact that he's about to become a father.
Well, he better be working.
He's going to be at Caroline's, 8 o'clock on Broadway in Manhattan this Thursday. That's this week, this Thursday to see Gilbert.
Yeah.
And maybe his executive producer, Darryl.
Yeah.
Now, Gilbert, will you be taken off the road, meaning when you get into the 9th month, I know a lot of guys who travel a lot are grounded because they need to be close to the birth of the baby.
No, I don't think any arrangements are made like that.
Yeah.
Have you said to her, look, I don't really want to care for a baby. I'll go out and make a living. You take care of this baby.
Is that the arrangement?
Is that the arrangement?
I haven't said it, but who knows what'll happen then.
Right. Right.
Well, you got to set it now.
You're just going to wait to see?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Not to see if he feels anything. Okay, but what happens if you really are like Brooke Shields and you see the baby and you hate the baby?
Or what was that?
Postpartum.
The girl who, Marie Osmond.
Right.
She got in a car and she started driving across country.
Is there any chance you might leave town?
I hadn't heard the Marie Osmond one.
No, but seriously.
I see a lot of parallels with Gilbert and Marie Osmond.
What if you have the baby, seriously, and you just look and you just go, I don't want this thing in my apartment.
Yeah.
I had a perfect life. I mean, this is crazy. It's too much for me. What are you going to do?
Yeah, like a person...
Build a doghouse outside.
Like a person who has a pet and they don't like the responsibility. There's no pound to take the baby.
What about you moving out of Manhattan, getting a house on Long Island?
Oh. I see you in Westchester.
Oh, Gilbert,
he's got to find the right temple.
Yes.
Yeah. Very exciting news.
Yes, it's very exciting.
Congratulations.
Gilbert cleaning gutters.
Exactly. You know, it's so funny. Gilbert's such an interesting character. Like, we've known him forever. And somebody just sent me an email. Do you know that Gilbert has a sister who's like an award-winning photographer, has been in the New York Times? And I looked her up on the web, and I looked at her bio, and you can't find any evidence that they're related. Except for her photograph. But you have a sister that's she's a famous photographer, right?
That is your sister.
Yes.
Is that the sister I met in the hospital?
Did you just meet one, or I have two?
I met your mom and I met your one sister.
I forget which one was there when you were there.
This one didn't look like a photographer.
Yeah. What, they have like a goatee or something? No, and a parade?
I don't know. I bet she wasn't the photographer.
Yeah.
They were a lot like you, your mom and your sister. They just kind of didn't talk. Yeah, you all just sat there. Well, it's a fascinating look into your private life.
Is your photographer sister the one with the kids you wheel around town?
No, that's the other one.
The other sister gives you the kids. Okay.
Well, what an accomplished family.
Yes.
The Gottfrieds. No wonder your wife took the name. Well, this is exciting.
It's like the Addams Family, basically.
Right. Now, are you going to get like a summer home? Because the kids need someplace in the summertime.
Oh, jeez.
Somewhere where you can go chill out.
Yes.
So the family can be closer. Well, this is, honestly, despite what you heard, Robin, I heard Gilbert is in a panic.
Well, I just don't know what to believe.
What should we believe?
I really don't know what to believe.
Just believe me, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
You're going with his story.
Well, there you go. Gilbert Gottfried is going to be at Caroline's at 8 o'clock on Broadway in Manhattan. That's Thursday. And you can call for reservations, 212-757-4100. Now, Gilbert has a DVD, Dirty Jokes.
And he needs you to buy this thing.
Yes, he really does. GilbertGottfried.com. Go check him out. I think you're going to like it.
Now, Gilbert, you didn't answer me. Are you going to the Lamaze classes or any kind of
Not so
classes?
far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Tim. Tim, you're on the air. Bayshore, Long Island. Tim, you there?
Hello?
Go ahead. You're on the air. You're on the air. The air is yours.
Hello?
Hello? You're on the air. The air is yours.
Howard?
Yes.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Listen, I want to know what you think of the Looter Skibby steak.
Libby Scooter Libby.
Looter Skibby? Well, you know, Scooter Libby, I'm not an expert in this field, but I'll tell you what. When there is a branch of the government, a branch of our society, FBI, CIA particularly, a lot of people need to work undercover. And what this guy was accused of doing was the most treasonous act you can do.
You think he did it or he was set up?
I think he was in on it. But I think a lot of people are getting their asses covered by Scooter Libby. But this is treason. When you reveal the name of a person working undercover in the CIA, and that's what he's accused of doing, right, Robin?
Well, that was not what he was tried for.
What was he tried for?
He was tried for obstructing justice and perjury, yes.
So, you know, here we are trying to find out who is the traitor to our country's security.
George Bush.
Well, I don't know how high up this thing goes.
You think he'll pardon him before he...
Yes. Looter Skibby will get a pardon from President Bush.
Before?
As he is leaving office. Not before. He can't do it before. If he does it before, it'll set off a firestorm of people screaming cover-up. Scooter Libby will be... First of all, he'll do an appeal. After the appeal, if he goes to prison, he will not spend much time there. President Bush, at the end of his term, will pardon this guy. He's a Bush insider. He is a dear friend of the families, and he will not go to jail. All right? But you got to understand how serious this thing is. If I was in the fucking CIA, risking my life for this country, and I have a cover, see, and my own government is outing me, I'd be furious. I'd be more furious than Gilbert having a baby. And you can imagine the fury and the rage.
By the way, good morning, Robin, Artie, George. Awesome having you on the show.
I got a feeling Scooter Libby is really small potatoes in this, small player.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But it's a serious offense, and it can't be taken lightly. I felt bad. I was watching the guy on TV, and I see he's going to prison and this and that. And you feel bad. You know, this is what's wrong with the jury system in our country. You know, even these guys who murder people who, like, drive their kids into a lake, they get on trial, they clean them up. You see a poor woman there, they go, oh, she's depressed and she had a problem. And you look at them and you go...
And you don't see the victim because the victim's gone.
You don't want to send these people to jail, but someone's got to go to jail.
Well, that's my question. Why don't people feel bad about the people who the crime was committed against?
Because you said it. They're not there. Can't see them.
You're feeling bad for him.
Right.
He could have kept his mouth shut.
That's right.
I think he was a fall guy. He was told to take the rap, and he told he'd be pardoned.
Yeah, well, that could be. We don't know. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
I'm terrific. I got an answer for everything.
No, you are so right. I can't agree with you more.
But I'm a big fuck-up, believe me.
But I don't like this. You felt bad for him because he's got to go to jail.
I'm making a point about that. No, you don't. You understand something? I don't like to see anyone go to jail. You don't like to see anybody's life ruined. But you got to understand what we're talking about here. Gilbert, we're talking about treason.
Yes. Now I'm angry.
All right.
Yeah.
Accountability for that.
Aha. Aso. Man. Do you ever say aso? What does aso mean, by the way?
Well, that is a legitimate Japanese phrase.
It's the only one I know.
Is that so? Is what it means. Is that so?
So.
Well, not quite that way. So. And usually they say desu ka. Is that so? So desu ka.
I see. So desu ka.
Doesn't George have a beautiful voice, Gilbert?
Yes.
I mean, seriously. He has a beautiful tone to his voice, unlike you, who's very great.
You know, you look like my uncle. Who is the Coca-Cola representative in Japan.
He's a what representative?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. In Japan. He was a executive VP or something.
You got to come in with a photo of your uncle.
He looks very much like you. Just look at your own
And his name is Hirohito Godfrey.
No, it was Susumu Nakamura.
Right.
My mother's maiden name, and that's the character I'm playing on Heroes. You look like Susumu Nakamura.
I've gotten that a lot.
Gilbert, are you a Trekkie? Did you follow the career of George Takei?
That's. I mean, I know about it just through it being on the air, but I never really followed it.
You seem to only know TV shows and movies from the 50s and
earlier.
And earlier.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't seem like you had any kind of cultural awareness.
Well, now especially, I don't know. I mean, I never saw the OC, never saw Lost, never saw Desperate
Housewives. But Georgie Jessel impressions. I mean, these are guys from... My father likes when you do Georgie Jessel.
He lived to 100.
That's right.
Hello, Mama. Is that you?
Mama Nakamura?
Gilbert, were you adopted? Maybe you are a Malaysian baby.
Well, Gilbert is here. He does many great characters. One of my favorite is Dice Gottfried.
Yeah.
Yes. I do that.
Yes, you do Dice Gottfried.
You don't even know.
Wow.
In fact, here you are calling someone named Bindi. Have you heard this one?
Oh, let me see.
All right, let's go to this. Here is the guys took Gilbert doing Dice Gottfried from our show and had him make a phony phone call.
Sound like Gilbert's greatest work.
Yes.
We take Gilbert's voice and, you know, like what we do with you, George. We use your voice. We use Gilbert.
It's like working with Lassie.
Hello.
Hey, Bendy, you want a Bendy on this? Ow!
What is this? Hello.
Hey, Bendy, want to swim around my stingray? Ow!
Well, some bullshit, man.
By the way, this guy, Richard had to find a guy named Bindi in the yellow page.
And that ain't easy.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, hello there.
Who the fuck is it?
Paul Winchell.
Well, this motherfucker. Hello.
Hi, it's Georgie. How's your health been doing, Mama?
Who?
Hey, did you get that parrot I sent you?
Somebody bullshitting on the motherfucker. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Who you want to speak to?
Bindi!
Who you want to speak to?
Yes.
Yes, motherfucker, yes. Who you want to speak to?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, take it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I fucked Desi on this.
Yeah.
Now you're just being silly.
Yeah, I trust you.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, sure, I trust you. I fucked your mom last night.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness. You're an animal. I want to fuck your big droopy yellow tits.
I'm gonna fuck your tits.
No, I can't even get a hard on.
You can't get on hard.
No.
When you got a pussy, you don't get on hard. Oh, you gay?
Yes.
You are gay?
I have sex with figs.
You have sex with pigs?
Yes.
You fucking asshole.
You're at your funniest. Why don't you make an album of phony phone calls? That is terrific. Do you like that?
Yeah, there's that, and then the other one was a gay bathhouse.
Yeah, the gay bathhouse is great too. Let's go. Well, I'll play that later in the show. Let's go to Andrew, who has a question for Gilbert Dice Gottfried. Hey, Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, the only thing Asian about Gilbert is a small cock. Hey, Gilbert's running into some bad luck. You know, first of all, he gets his girlfriend pregnant because he's too cheap to wear a condom. Then he gets married, and now Affleck is dropping the duck, so he's getting all that cash.
Affleck Duck, that you do the voice of.
Oh, yes.
They decided it was a turnoff, and they're getting rid of the duck. Did they call you and inform you?
Not yet. They haven't, totally yet. Right now, I think they're in between.
You know, I thought the Affleck Duck was very effective.
Oh, yeah. That's how everyone knows about the company.
I never heard of Affleck till you started doing that.
Well, what happened is they have a new guy at Affleck, so it's kind of like...
He's got to put his mark on.
Yeah, so it's basically like the kind of thinking of hey, you know, we should change the formula to Coca-Cola.
But it was a lot of money to you, right? To be the voice of the Affleck Duck.
But so far they're still doing it.
Okay, so we don't know yet. It's not because we all read in the paper you were out of a job.
Yeah, they had made an announcement that they were going to get rid of it, but then I thought they took them aside and said, hey, that's how people know we exist.
That's right. Well, maybe they're rethinking it is what you're saying. All right, Gilbert, great. It sounds like your life's really on target. You're really on track. It's great. All right. Gilbert Gottfried this Thursday night, 8 o'clock at Caroline's. And also, don't forget, GilbertGottfried.com for Dirty Jokes, the DVD. I'm going to take a break here. When we come back, Robin's going to do a little news. George, you could comment on some of the things that are going on in our society. Yes. I would love that.
I'll comment on the news. I love current events.
In between fucking Gilbert in the ass.
There's two things I like doing.
Yes.
Current events and fucking Gilbert in the ass.
You do a tremendous George Takei impression.
Well, he looks a little Asian.
Yes.
Maybe he's related to my uncle.
I'd like to bring a little Asian up to my apartment.
Would you like to do an announcement right here, Mr. Takei?
I'd be happy.
All right, here he is, George Takei, our announcer.
This is George Takei, and I am fluent in 3 languages, English, Japanese, and Spanish, which means I can have sex with men from most of the civilized world. Now, if I could only learn French, and Italian, and Mandarin, and German, I could bang the entire United Nations.
All right. We'll be back right after these words. Oh, my God, I almost just vomited. But I didn't. Eric the Midget making some weird phone calls to me. The guy said, hey, Eric just made a weird phone call. I said, let me guess, he's pissed that I hung up on him the other day. Isn't that always the case?
I figured he'd be, yelling at you on email or voicemail after that.
I got it for you right here.
Hello, you big-nosed jackass. What the fuck was the point of hanging up on me this morning? You rude-ass piece of shit. Don't you ever fucking do that again. I was trying to get to another point, and then all of a sudden...
Isn't it weird when a midget tries to be like a tough guy? It doesn't work. Like, if that was Chuck Zito saying it to me, it's a whole different thing.
Shaking your back.
Goddamn right. I'll be apologizing.
Click. Bob. Fuck you. You annoying sack of shit. Don't you ever do that again. That was uncalled for. No fucking reason to do that to me. I had more to say, and I've had more to say for 2 or 3 weeks. That was my first time to get on the show in 2 or 3 weeks. And you abruptly hung up on me. There are people thinking that I'm not calling the show because instead of you taking my calls every morning I've called, you leave me the fuck on hold. And people, they don't know that listening to the show. They don't know that I'm sitting on hold waiting for you to pick up my line. As far as they know, I'm asleep or just listening to the show, not calling. Let me on the air and don't fucking hang up on me. Got it?
Got it. Got it. Hey, for those of you who thought Eric isn't calling the show or is asleep, he's on hold. I just tortured him. He's the greatest, isn't he? Eric the Midget. I love him. Doug Goodstein just told me that Howard TV is going to do in the day in the life.
Of Eric?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I think it's going to be sad.
Well, I still want to see it.
I'll watch it. Jerry, you're on the air. Nothing wrong with being sad. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, how's it going, Howard? Big fan, man. I went to high school with Eric the Midget. And he was such an ass. You think he's a jerk now. He ruined the last couple of years of high school because he had the entire place revamped for handicapped people. It was like a 100-year-old building made out of brick, and he had him put in an elevator for him.
No kidding.
Yeah, and the thing
what
is...
an asshole.
It was a regular high school, but...
how did that ruin high school for you?
What's that?
I say, how did that ruin high school for you? I mean, he got a...
Well, because they had construction crews going all the time, building ramps. Any place you would have stairs, they had to put in ramps. And they couldn't just put in ramps. They had to tear out everything and put in concrete, and it had to be ramp level.
I see. So while you were trying to learn, let's say, you hear noise in the background. Yeah. Oh, okay. He is a pain in the ass. Let him stay home. I can't hear you. They're putting in a ramp as we speak.
We're making way for Eric.
You mean he was the guy who...
He's the reason he failed.
I could have went to medical school if not for that goddamn midget.
Why you?
Yeah, what was he going to be that got derailed?
Yeah, what happened?
He's the reason I'm a shipping clerk.
What do you do for a living now?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a land surveyor.
I walk around and look at the land.
So you realized your dream.
So what were you going to be before Eric got in the way?
A brain surgeon.
I was going to run for president, but, that didn't work out. No, you know what else?
I would have been president if it wasn't for that midget wanting access to toilets.
And,
why can't Eric just shit in his pants? Why do we have to put a ramp to the toilet?
Wear a diaper.
And it couldn't just be a ramp. It had to be a safe ramp. You had to build railings.
That midget ruined my high school, man. We had to put in ramps for him. Does it bother you that he's more famous than you?
No.
No.
My marks would have been a lot higher if it wasn't for that damn midget.
No, he never left the basement anyway. He didn't need the fucking ramps.
Well, you're obviously very burned by this.
Let me give you another visual of what it was like to see him walk
I was going to be an opera singer, sir, before Eric the Midget came along.
Well, I'm sorry to hear all of that. Thank you.
And I could have studied harder if it wasn't for that teacher yelling so loud so the deaf kids could hear.
Where was your compassion for him, sir? I mean, he is very handicapped.
He'd walk around and...
I would have graduated if it wasn't for that Braille reading material.
Now, let the guy say. What did you say?
Okay, so he'd be riding around his little motorized wheelchair, and he was a special ed, except for maybe one or two, so he always was hanging around the retards. And so there was this one guy who was probably 6 feet tall, kind of chubby, with hella acne scars, and he'd follow Eric around like a zombie. Didn't speak.
Harvey Weinstein?
And Eric would
wait, they're doing construction. You'll have to talk up.
Then he'd go and do something, whatever Eric would tell him, he'd go do it. And then he'd get behind Eric again and follow him around like he was like Eric was a little evil genius in a wheelchair, and there was this crazy, monster.
Wait, sir, you know what? What you said would have been real funny, but they're doing construction. Eric's coming here next week, and we had to build him a ramp.
So, in other words, you're saying Eric ruined the high school because him and this other guy walked around, and he would, it was distracting to you.
Motorized around.
He'd yell at people to get out of the way, too.
Get out of my way.
So I'm trying to get by here.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Yucko the Clown. Yes, Yucko.
Fucking wheelchair.
Hey, Gilbert. How you doing?
Yes, hi.
Thanks for charging me for your piece of shit DVD.
Now, what about that? Yeah, Yucko tells a story. He was working with you.
Yes.
And you said to him, do you want my new DVD? And he said, sure. And then you charged him for it. For real? Is that true?
Well, I charged him extra because I signed it.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
All right, Yucko.
Hey, why don't you name the baby Takei Heed? I'm a fucking soft spot, you fucking fudge packer.
Thank you, Yucko. What about naming your child Takei Heed?
Yes, I like it.
That's catchy.
It's got a ring to it.
It's catchy.
Boy, Yucko really has good ideas for naming children.
Takei Heeb Godfrey, like Sarah Jessica Parker.
It's got quite a ring. Hey, you know what? You know who we... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Gilbert.
No, I had one question for George that I heard in an interview. That you said the two things you were ashamed of in your career were being in two movies where you were like an offensive Asian stereotype, and both times they were Jerry Lewis films.
Oh.
Is that true?
Is that right?
I have done Jerry Lewis films, yes.
Wow. And were you upset by your role?
You had to bring that up, didn't you? We all have skeletons in our closet, don't we?
Not like yours.
Ours aren't getting fucked.
One must have been hardly working. I remember he put in the buck teeth and stuff.
Oh, no, I didn't. No. It was me as I am.
Yes.
But,
okay, what were the two films? Do you remember?
One was called The Loudmouth.
Okay.
And the other one was Which Way to the Front.
Oh, okay.
And I was
Interesting question you asked yourself later in life.
I'd forgotten about it all.
Wait a second, so you played a Japanese soldier?
A comic Japanese soldier.
Right, and you felt it was demeaning to the Asian people?
Well, I heard from them.
I see.
Yes.
Wait, you were offended, but did you get offended by a Japanese character Jerry was doing, too?
You know, this was comedy.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I mean, I'd be offended by you if I were that sensitive.
Right. So you have nothing against Jerry?
No, he's a great comic. And he was a real pioneer, I think, because he was... on his set, was the first time I saw a TV monitor so that we didn't have to wait until dailies to see the scene that we just played.
Right, he invented that.
He was the first person to use that.
Right.
And so, you know, he was really a trailblazer.
I know, he doesn't stop telling us. Well, let me tell you something. This is an exciting day. We have Gilbert Gottfried here, who's appearing at Caroline's on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. And if you want reservations, 212-757-4100. Also, he has that website that is so magnificent, GilbertGottfried.com, state-of-the-art. Like Jerry Lewis, Gilbert is on there inventing brand new ways to look at the Internet. Purchase Gilbert's DVD, Dirty Jokes. Let me bring in Steve Langford and John Hine, who have updates for us. Steve Langford from the Howard 100 News team. He is always ready with an update. Steve, what do you have for us today?
Just some of the stories we're working on in the Howard 100 newsroom. Is history repeating itself here on The Stern Show? Will Artie Lang pull a Jackie Martling? Who better to ask than the joke man himself? And Jackie does not disappoint. Telling Howard 100 News if Artie does leave the show to go to Hollywood, there is a chance he'll fall on his face. But Jackie making a point of saying...
Yeah, see? He's very savvy.
There's only a chance, Artie.
But Jackie making a point of saying his own experience is that a guy has to live his life and not get up at 4 in the morning.
All right.
Jackie also telling us...
So go for it, Artie.
Go for your dream, Artie.
Jackie also telling us if Artie leaves and bombs out in Hollywood, there's always a place for him on Jackie's joke hunt.
Oh, that's nice. What about Artie's joke hunt?
Artie's, it would be more Artie's loser story hunt.
Yeah, he already decided what his show will be.
What else you got there, Steve?
Also today, what happens when you put a crazy ex-con cab driver in a cage with a butt-eating, blue cheese-licking booze hound? We may soon find out. The Reverend Bob Levy challenging crazy cabbie to battle in Bubba's Bubbagon later this month in Florida. Talk about killers of comedy.
Wow.
And the Stern Show's driven woman, Robin Quivers, revving up for next month's Grand Prix celebrity race in California. Howard 100 News speaking to the competition's head race instructor to find out how Robin stacks up against Martina Navratilova, George Lucas, and John Sally, among others.
George Lucas is
George
racing?
Lucas. I'm going to spin out George Lucas.
Very good.
The Intern Show tonight, 7 Eastern, Howard 101. And if you see Stern-related news, we want to know about it. Call the Howard 100 News tip line at 877-33-SIRIUS. Choose Channel 100. Or email your tip to Howard100News at SiriusRadio.com. All these stories and much more coming up on the Howard 100 Noontime News, weekdays noon Eastern, updates every hour.
Very excited to hear those updates. Thank you very much. That is Steve Langford, Howard 100 News. You know, he's upset. Scott DePace, he feels Scooter Libby shouldn't go to jail. Can you imagine? How do you come to that conclusion?
Why would that be?
And did he follow the trial, or is it just because Scooter Libby was in the Bush administration?
I don't know. Dude, where are you at with this? How do you side against...
Here we go. He actually studied.
It was a Martha Stewart thing all over again. They got him on something he was not guilty of originally.
But you have to understand, he's part of a cover-up.
Isn't that what they do?
Do you understand?
No, it wasn't.
Don't we have a right to know who revealed the names?
We do. We found out it's this guy named Armitage who is...
No, it isn't.
Yes, it was.
No,
it was Colin Powell's assistant. He was the one who supposedly leaked it. It wasn't even a leak. She was barely undercover. She was already out in some Russian spy magazine.
No, that's Rush Limbaugh talking.
No, it's not. In fact, I just read that on Wikipedia.
You must be educated.
Dude,
he was tried for lying. He was saying
same thing that Clinton was, and apparently you had no problem with that, right,
Clinton
George?
wasn't tried for anything.
He should have been tried for lying.
He was tried for lying and found guilty of that.
Yeah, and what was his punishment? Just disbarment from Arkansas. That was it. Right?
For lying to a grand jury?
Don't you think it's a little bit less a devious lie than to out and be part of a conspiracy to out someone who works for the CIA. Shame on you.
You're assuming they did that. Dude, it's
You're
not
a traitor to this country.
No, listen.
You should go live in Iran.
Bullshit. Listen, if she was sitting there truly undercover in Russia and Cheney called someone up to have her killed or something, yeah, absolutely. That's what the law's there for.
Holy mackerel.
This is someone in this country who is working, doing clerical work.
Get out of here. You don't know what she's doing.
Yes, she was.
You don't know what she was doing.
Discuss it. It could have put other deep cover operatives in jeopardy.
But Scooter Libby did not do anything.
He lied and is part of the cover-up.
How do you know he lied? His story was he forgot.
The jury found them guilty.
I watch a case every night.
Were you on the jury?
No, but every night I would hear the headlines. And every night you would hear
headlines. That's not being in the courtroom.
Well, listen to me, though. But listen, they got the O.J. trial wrong, too, right? So juries are not infallible.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame on you. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about, and you're talking about this.
You went to O.J.
Why don't you tell George Takei you're against gay marriage? Go ahead and tell him. You walk him in the face. Yes, he is.
All right. Well, yes, I am.
Why?
First of all,
go ahead and tell him.
I would like to say it's not a major issue. I don't vote on that issue for me. But I do feel that I don't see the reason for, just like you don't see the reason against.
Well, do you know that there are legal inequities involved here?
Okay, I'm fully for every civil right,
Well, then you're for it. Because that's what we're being deprived of.
If it's a monetary issue, if it's the ability to do certain things.
To be able to inherit each other's...
No, I'm absolutely for
Wait a second. Why don't you come clean? Why don't you tell George to his face that you're against gay couples adopting children?
He hates gays.
Why don't you tell him?
Your boys in the back are going crazy.
Tell him right now to his face.
I don't think that is an ideal situation for a family.
There are many ideal situations where you have a man and a woman raising a child.
Absolutely.
And look at the screwed up kids.
Absolutely.
And look at the beautiful children that are being raised by gay and lesbian couples.
Listen, I'm talking in generalizations here. I don't think that it's
Scott, do you see this man sitting here?
I see him. He's right there.
He's a great man. I'm going to tell you something. Not only is he a nice guy.
Gay people.
Hold it. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes, you do.
Tell him to his face you hate the Asians.
No, wait a second. Wait, I want to make a point here. This man is probably in the most loving relationship of 20 years with Brett. You're telling
me more stable than anyone you're in.
He's together.
Please,
he's got a sense of humor. He's demonstrated.
And he eats and he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah, and he's law-abiding
person.
Yeah.
So what, you think he's not a fit? You don't think he'd be a fit mother? I'm serious.
You've said yourself, Howard, things like, so do you
Bullshit.
think
what have I said?
A child growing up in a family of two gay people, you don't think that's going to be a hard life?
Fine. You know what? There are so many unwanted children in this world. You fucking religious nuts.
Listen, it's not about religion.
Right. That's what you are.
I know myself
a child
from raising my
kids.
In
an orphanage instead of being with George Takei? Are you fucking crazy?
No,
Get out of here,
not
you
traitor.
What do you know? What
you
do you
always
know
say get out of here.
Get out, you say.
No,
you can't.
Wait a minute. I got to know. What do you know from raising your kids?
From raising my children, I know that my kids get a totally different experience from my wife than they do from me.
Yeah.
And I can only assume...
Why? Because you have a penis? No, because you're two different people, you jackass.
No.
I'm tired of you.
No, it's because there's a different viewpoint. There's a different...
what are you saying? That's absolutely necessary?
You sit there and stare at that Xbox all day.
Absolutely necessary, Robin. Again, I'm not saying...
You think Gilbert's going to be a better father?
You're not letting me talk.
But you're not letting me talk. I'm not saying
Gilbert's with a woman, he's going to be a good father? You crazy?
Yeah, look at the example right here.
Look at that right there.
Look, I don't know what you guys are trying. You're not going to prove anything.
I'd be a better father if I got fucked in the ass.
Maybe.
Well, what are you trying to prove?
I can't get a word out, so, you know.
Right.
Well, you're saying that only a man and a woman can raise a healthy child.
No, I did not say that. So you didn't listen to what I said.
You're saying that
you did not listen to what I said.
I listened.
I said it is very possible, but in general terms, I don't think it's a good idea for...
Why?
You know, a lot of things aren't good ideas that people do every day. You don't do anything about it, though. Why do you have to do something about gay parents?
Didn't you look George in the face?
I've looked at him.
And tell him, no you haven't, tell him that you said if your son is gay, he couldn't come in the house with his boyfriend. Tell him. Am I lying?
Not what I said.
Tell him to his face.
I'd like to know the reason why you hold that position based on generalities.
Hey, you big bald fuck.
Fred, right on there. What topic are we back to the adoption?
I'm up to why you wouldn't allow your son, if he was gay, to come to his house with his lover.
At Thanksgiving.
First of all, that was 10 years ago before I had children.
Wait a second.
No.
But secondly,
no.
Did you
I
say
did not
it or
say
not?
it recently.
Your child was
I
on
would
this earth.
love that.
But I
Look
do
at George.
think,
Don't look at me.
I do think it would be what's the word?
your
Uncomfortable.
son.
It would be very
You would
hard.
be uncomfortable.
Yes. It would be very hard for me to accept. And what I did say is, if he did show extra affection and kissing and that sort of thing, I'd be very pissed off at him.
Many gay and lesbian parents have raised straight, heterosexual, healthy, productive members of society.
And most gay people were raised by heterosexuals.
Exactly.
So what the hell does that prove? All right, so no heterosexuals
So you want
can
to
have
pass
kids
a law.
What the hell?
No,
What is
Scott.
Stupid.
Scott, what you're saying is you want to have laws discriminating people because of their sexual orientation.
That's right. It's American.
I didn't say we need to pass a law.
Come clean and look George in the face and say, yes, because you're gay, you should not have
to
rights.
pass a law. But if
no,
I were the one
laws.
making the decisions, I would say that, and I'm in
Rush
the adoption...
Limbaugh, motherfucker.
It's not about him.
Why don't you just get a
Rush?
I Love Rush Limbaugh fucking T-shirt and wear it every day?
I don't, because I barely
This is the same
listen
Rush
to him.
Limbaugh dumb arguments.
Why is it whenever Republicans have viewpoints, it comes from other places?
You're Rush Limbaugh.
You don't know
starting to look like him.
To justify a law. You're even trying to revise the Constitution. To add an amendment banning equality for
First of all, I
gays and
am not. If you're talking about what the president was trying to do,
Not a hair on that head.
that was because...
And they're doing that in all the states, too.
Do you even understand his side of that story? See, I don't think you've even listened to it. What he said was it should be allowed, the states should be able to make up their own mind.
Well,
the problem was the Supreme Court, state Supreme Courts were changing that, so he then had to take the next step.
That's right. And is that right?
Well, look, if you're going to take away the states' rights...
And write in discrimination.
If you're going to take away the states' right to decide what marriage is...
It is no government's right to determine what two individuals do.
Enough of this. This is silly.
Hey, Howard.
Yes. He's a very silly guy.
We're not going to make it.
Based on your premise, should a state be allowed to ban heterosexual marriage?
Sure.
Okay.
They can.
What does that prove?
No,
listen, this is a dumb conversation. This guy was raised, I don't know where, but maybe in Kentucky or some shit.
Howard?
What?
Just looking at Rush Limbaugh's website, and of course, third paragraph down regarding the screw to Libby thing, it's the whole Martha Stewart thing.
Right, the Martha Stewart argument.
Gary, I swear on the life of my children, I have not listened to Rush Limbaugh for 3 days.
You guys just think exactly alike.
Every position.
Maybe.
Well, he's been so programmed, and you know you've heard Rush Limbaugh.
So again, the Republican is programmed, but you liberal free thinkers are so great.
You are programmed.
As soon as Rush Limbaugh went bald, this guy goes bald. That's all I know. Thank you, Scott.
You're very
my director.
welcome.
Thank you. All right, here's a different view.
Bald fuck.
I'm not leaving until Fred stops.
Baldy! Baldy! He's a bald TV director! Baldy! Baldy! He's a bald TV director!
Nice. All right, let's get over to John Hine, who hosts a wrap-up show every day. Johnny Boy at 11 o'clock. It's your turn. What's up?
Well, Will the Farter tried out a whistle and a harmonica, serenaded George Takei with Mary Had a Little Lamb, and tried to hit Richard with some shit freckles. We'll discuss Will's appearance, how Richard's holding up after having his head shoved into a farter's ass, and how Sal performed so well on that quiz.
Okay.
Also, Howard wondered if he could work with Jackie again, and everyone reminisced about how tense things were when Jackie was around.
You remember Gilbert.
Oh, yes.
Gilbert used to get very upset.
He hated doing the show.
That's right.
Well, we'll talk more about how Jackie was on a daily basis, if Robin is clearing a path for Artie to join him, and take calls to speculate on how things would go if Jackie came back into the studio for just a day.
We would welcome him with open arms.
If I left, would we be living together?
It could happen that way.
Also, a recently married Gilbert Gottfried filled us in on his wedding and future as a father, but still hasn't referred to his better half as his wife or touched her pregnant stomach.
Can you believe that?
No.
Touch the stomach, I'd be a little freaked out.
He hasn't had sex.
You wouldn't touch your wife's stomach?
I guess I would because you have to. You know?
But if there's a baby in there, you wouldn't want to, like, feel the foot pressing against the belly and stuff? Am I crazy?
Artie, you want to be a dad one day.
Right.
You're going to be so excited when you finally find somebody you can knock up that you're going to be wanting every experience.
Gilbert's like, I don't think so.
Yes. This I have to hear.
Well, when it's a kid, when it's an actual kid, I might be into it. Now when it's covered by my fat wife's stomach.
Gilbert, do you...
He's a man next to my own heart.
Do you can picture, like, you holding the baby when it's born and, like, rocking it? Do you feel
singing to it?
No, I can picture Artie doing it.
Okay,
See, that I would love.
Do you think you'll even hold the baby?
As long as it's two gay guys doing it.
Yes.
No, seriously, Gilbert, do you think you'll hold the baby?
Maybe. I don't know. I
Do you
guess
think
I'll have to.
Do you think you'll give the baby kisses? Do you?
We'll see when that happens. Yes.
Will you teach the baby how to do the aristocrats joke?
Oh, yes.
This is a disaster.
Do you want your little baby to be a comedian?
Oh, boy, that would be, yeah.
What a great life.
Gilbert Gottfried Jr.?
I'm quite frankly worried about that.
I see Gilbert's kid in like 15 years being like a player, like at the clubs, making.
Well, yeah. Well, you're gonna get the old man's money.
Yeah. He'll do everything Gilbert wished he could have done. He'll be cool with it.
I hope the kid is really super good looking and gets laid all the time, and Gilbert be jealous.
Right.
That'd be good. All right, go ahead, Johnny.
Well, we're going to talk about how Gilbert sounded today. If George might possibly think that he looks a little bit Asian, and take calls on whether he's the most unhappily married man and expected father we've ever heard.
Absolutely.
And and last but not least, after looking George in the eye, has Scott DePace changed his mind about gay marriage and what would happen if his son brought a man home for the holidays?
Notice when a gay man was in the studio, his tune became a little softer. You understand?
Did he look you in the eye, George?
No.
Oh, he certainly did.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Well, we made him.
Yeah,
he didn't choose
he was browbeaten into that.
Artie, why aren't you eating your cupcake? What's going on?
I don't like that guy.
You don't like that?
Oh, that was my gift to you.
Yeah, it's
I was
carrot.
passing by there, and there was that beautiful-looking cake that I thought you'd enjoy.
I don't like the carrot cupcakes.
You don't like... Oh, it's too healthy.
No, I don't think... I never like carrot cake.
Carrot cake is what I would eat, and I thought maybe...
Well, you eat it. Good. It's got that white cream on it you love so much.
Well, you like that orange stuff on top, don't you?
No, you can take
lick it off.
You can take... Oh, my God.
All right, anything else, Johnny?
Well, we're going to let DePace come on and speak his mind and take calls to see if he has any support whatsoever out there.
All right, I'm sure he does.
That's all in a wrap-up show.
All right, thank you very much, John Hine. Let's go right over to Robin Quivers, who looks beautiful today and is ready to report the news.
I can't believe what a Neanderthal Scott DePace is. I would love for my son to have a gay boyfriend and come home.
I don't say you necessarily would love it, but it doesn't have to be a thing where you wouldn't let him in the house.
Oh, I'd love it.
And you don't want your son to be in a loving relationship.
Be the greatest.
Well,
Wait a second.
What we're up against.
Artie, you wouldn't let your son in the house if he was gay?
I would love it. I would want.
I didn't say you love it.
I would want that kid to get fucked in his ass so hard. I'm trying to get a job in show business. No, I would never. There's no Sean. And I think Scott has changed. There's no circumstances where I wouldn't let my kid in the house. Gay, well, you deal with it.
Well, there are parents who do that.
You got to keep loving your child.
There are so many runaway kids, and they, come to Hollywood and New York. Right. And it's really a tragic sight.
And they get on Star Trek.
No, many of them, get into dope.
That's horrible.
They get into dope. They go on the street and they're sucking some old queen's cock for money. That's right.
You don't want. I don't want them doing that.
All right, so then you be nice to your kid.
Be a good father.
I would always be, and I think you guys didn't let Scott get out that I think he says he would.
No, he didn't say that.
He didn't say anything.
He didn't
say that.
He wasn't on the way
He
either.
danced around it. He didn't want to answer that.
Let's go to Robin Quivers, who has the news. Let's get down into some topics here.
I like the close-up of his ball.
That was good.
Oh, poor Robin. Every day.
It's the only way they can get to me.
Is that why you have a glass wall surrounding you?
Oh, my.
It goes on and on.
Boy, oh, boy. some song. All right, thank you.
You got a good riff, you stick with it.
Don't change it no matter what. All right, the Daily News has come up with a list of the top 50 albums of all time.
Really?
Well, the top album of all time is Jimi Hendrix Experience. We all know that.
Well, you are wrong, according to the Daily News.
But what do the Daily News know about the top album?
I guess they got a bunch
What do they
of
say?
experts together.
I'll give you a top 5. Number 1, Jimi Hendrix Experience. There's no better album than that. Am I right, George?
Absolutely.
Okay. Number 2, everybody knows that, except for Scott DePace.
Let me see if you're even in the top 5 here. No, you're not.
What is the top song according to them?
I'd put Experience in the top 10, I would, but not number 1.
What's number 1 for you? What could be better than that?
Best album of all time is
Sgt. Pepper's?
Is Born to Run by Mr. Bruce.
Get the fuck out of here. It's not even in the top 5.
None of you know what you're talking about.
It's my top 1. It's my number 1.
Revolver by the Beatles.
What's the best Beatles album?
Best Beatles album of all time is Sgt. Pepper's. It changed the way everything went down in music.
I agree with that.
Not only the best Beatle album, it is the number 1 album.
See, that's what I thought they might know.
Well, it's number 2, but okay.
Number 2.
It's behind Born to Run.
Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Number 2.
Gilbert, what is it? You agree with me that Sgt. Pepper's is the greatest album of all time?
Yes.
Next to Jimi Hendrix?
Gilbert was the one who got it right.
Yes, I was the one who said Sgt. Pepper. See,
Number 2.
I'm not the complete idiot.
You actually listen to music?
Yeah, yes.
We found something he likes.
Number 2 is the soundtrack to Bud and Lou Meet the Guy. Abbott and Costello Meet Friends.
Love Me Tender.
Pink
We gotta get this straight. The McDougal's House of Art.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon.
It's number 2?
Number 2.
That's ridiculous.
You're gonna be shocked at number 3.
Biggest selling album of all time.
Number 3 has to be... I was going to say a Van Halen album, but I'm not going to because it's not consistent enough. Number 3, what would be number 3?
Well, the first Van Halen album is great.
It's pretty damn great, right?
Not, yeah, but I don't think
Well, what's better than that?
Well, I think there's a couple of Beatles.
You have to think of the great bands, The Who, The Rolling Stone. I mean, I can't believe that.
Who's next?
I'll give you any Rolling Stone. I'll give you Exile on Main Street is probably number 3 or 4.
I bet they put Sticky Fingers above that.
What is it?
Number 3 is Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Get the fuck out of here.
And Artie, you should have known that.
That is the most overrated bullshit. Michael Jackson is not even good.
Eddie Van Halen's on Beat It.
It's a crap, right, Gilbert?
I never understood the later Michael Jackson.
No.
I mean, he was fun when he was with the Jackson 5.
The adult Michael, he lost you when he became an adult.
When he was still a black man.
Yes.
He was fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he was fun to party with.
No,
that later I never
Number 4 is what?
Number 4, I can't believe nobody said any Led Zeppelin.
That's true.
It's
Zeppelin
Led Zeppelin 4.
Zoso?
4, yeah, they like it. That's the one they always point to.
And number 5.
Who's next?
The Best of George Jessel?
Sticky Fingers. Exile on Main Street? It's not
was lonely hearts on brand.
Number 5 is
you enjoy the show, Mama.
Joshua's Tree. Joshua Tree.
No.
The Joshua Tree.
Absolutely overrated, you two.
Can I ask you where Born to Run and it has to be in there?
The Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Street is number 6.
Can you imagine somebody would make a list as dopey that Exile on Main Street is lower than Bono's bullshit?
I guess they felt they had to put a U2 thing in there.
Stupid asses over the day. What the hell's wrong with them?
There's 3 Beatles albums. 3 Beatles albums I put before that.
Of course.
Rubber Soul and the one you just said.
Yeah, not even thinking about women. Carole King's Tapestry, number 7.
No.
Fucking break.
Bullshit.
Number 8, Bob Dylan's Highway 61
Anything Bob
Revisited.
Dylan sucks. Go ahead.
Blood on the Tracks.
Number 9, Beach Boys' Pet Sound.
I never got that. They're horrible.
Number 10, Nirvana's Nevermind.
No, not number 10. It's a good album, but not number 10.
Pearl Jam's 10, number 11.
All right, I go along with that.
Just tell me where Born to Run is.
All right, let me see. Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run, number 15.
Yeah, see.
All right, so it's in
number
there.
1 for me.
Number 16 is Prince's Purple Rain. So, you know, they're all
where's the first Who
Purple
record
Rain
in there?
is one of the greatest albums of all time. That's right.
Who's next? The one? I'm curious.
Who's next cannot possibly be on this.
Who's next was number 22.
Okay, who's next?
It's
and Shania Twain is that.
Stop it.
Purple Rain should be in the top 5.
The Grateful Dead is ahead of the Who.
Really? Grateful Dead are horrible.
Hey, Robin,
who's
I
would have killed myself.
Who's Next is the first Who album?
Yep.
Okay. 22. Shit.
Yeah, but behind Shania Twain. Shania Twain's number 1.
You understand they got to fill up newspapers? These guys don't. Who wrote that column? I'm going to write them a letter.
Fleetwood Mac is number 24. That is a great album. Rumors. Yeah.
Not a great album.
Pink Floyd's The Wall, number 25.
No.
Is there a Van Halen album on there?
Hey, what? Van Halen?
It would have to be the first Van Halen or 1984.
Jimi Hendrix doesn't show up until number 41.
Wow. Boy, these people don't know what they're talking about.
Are you experienced?
I really disagree with that. That placing is ridiculous.
No, Shania Twain's much better than Jimi Hendrix.
By 30.
Yeah.
The Eagles, Hotel California, number 35, behind Shania Twain.
Yeah, wow. Shania Twain.
As soon as Shania Twain's on the list, you're right. Close the paper.
Right.
Just close it.
It's invalid.
Dixie Chicks, number 33, ahead of Jimi Hendrix.
That's crazy. All right, let's move on. This is a silly conversation.
And I don't see The Who.
Well, they're right.
Well, Who's Next was on.
Oh, the Who's Next. Yeah, okay. But who else? Who else is not on this?
There's only one Stones record? Sticky Fingers has got to be
There's a couple of Stones records, but I think there's only one Who.
Every Beatles album is better than Shania Twain.
Every single one of them.
Led Zeppelin. My God. What am I thinking? Santana is
What about Metallica?
Metallica does make the list. It's number 14.
Which album?
Metallica, 1991.
All right.
What is that?
Is that Black Album?
The Black Album?
What about AC/DC Black Album? What's that in
Back
there?
in Black's got to be.
Back in Black is on the list. AC/DC, where are you? I saw you. You are number 17.
Right, yeah.
All right.
Still behind Shania Twain.
38 is Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
That's a brilliant album.
Yeah, they're crazy.
All right. Anything else, Robin?
Captain America. Are you a big fan?
Captain America, I never liked it.
What about Gilbert Gottfried's
I didn't know the whole deal with Captain America.
I'll tell you why I don't like Captain America.
What?
He doesn't really have any powers.
Well, I
He's a
didn't
big shield.
know that Captain America came out in World War II.
Right.
As a reaction to the Nazis, and they gave him super soldier serum.
Yeah.
Good reaction to the Nazis.
And so he was the ultimate human. He could bench press 1,100 pounds, run a mile in about a minute, and outsmart any spy. So that was his claim to fame. He didn't really have any superpowers, but they have killed him off.
Yeah.
He dies.
Well, that means no one bought the comic.
Episode. So, they brought back Superman. The question is, will there be another Captain America?
Notice that if you're making up a guy, why stop at 1,100 pounds he can press?
I'm sure there was a method to his madness. All right.
Every black guy on the planet can bench press 1,100.
That's why they had to off.
Except the guys on the Jets front line. Anyway.
Your daughter's in high school.
Okay.
They give her excerpts from the vagina monologues to read.
Go ahead.
But they tell her she can't say vagina.
No, that's crazy. That's silly.
Well, that happened at a Westchester public high school, and now they've suspended the 3 girls who disobeyed the rule and actually said the word vagina together.
Can you say
while
pussy?
They were reading the vagina monologue.
Just say pussy instead of vagina.
You can say cunt, but you can't say vagina. We told you that ahead of time.
That's right. They should have used another word.
Yes.
Right.
That's all.
It's the Cunt Chronicles.
I guess the principal's head would have exploded if they did that.
Tell you what, that title's got a way better ring to it, the Cunt Chronicles.
Better
alliteration.
I would, too.
I actually saw the vagina monologues.
Oh, yeah,
no. I think you went with your daughter, right?
That sounds like torture.
Well, are you having a daughter?
Get ready.
You got to do shit like that. You got to relate to your girl.
Or a gay son. I want to know the last play George hated. What? Everything's wonderful.
Oh, no, there's some pretty bad plays.
Name 2 bad plays.
You forget the bad
man fell in love with a woman.
What? The one with Cherry Jones.
Cherry Jones?
Yeah, and 3 people. All
Doubt?
No, that was brilliant.
That was wonderful.
That was brilliant. She did the one she did after that.
Hey, George, why do you think gay men love theater so much? Honestly, it's not such a stereotype.
Well, it's like, because
it's
Artie's into the competition of life as as it's played out on the basketball court. We see the resonance of life in our own terms. Like, the journey's end.
I just asked a question.
He just answered it.
I don't understand the answer.
It's their sports, is what he said.
Well, musicals more than a play.
Well, musicals, too. Like Company is about this guy who remains a bachelor into his late 30s, and all his friends are getting married, and he sees the dysfunctional marriage.
See, musicals are brutal to me. I can't deal with a musical.
Oh, you liked Jersey Boys.
I like the music. I could, listen to a fucking
All right, let's
tape.
move on. I just had a simple question. I still don't know the answer.
We have a whole dissertation.
Go ahead, Robin, please.
There's another sex with the teacher scandal
and another hot teacher. This
in
chick,
the paper today, yeah.
This is some freaky teacher. Good-looking girl, in her 20s.
Emily Streb, 23.
23, hot, nice hair, the whole thing. Doing it with her student who's special ed.
A special ed kid.
Can you imagine? I couldn't get laid in high school.
Yeah.
And this kid is special ed and he's getting it.
Do you have any pictures of her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the paper. You'd like her, Gilbert.
I don't want you to see.
You'd like her. You're retarded. You'd like her.
You're special ed.
Yeah, the kid suffers from psychological problems.
You've got the IQ of a 3-year-old. You'd like her.
Gilbert, instead of Asian, tell her you're Mongoloid.
You know what Gilbert's nickname was in high school?
What?
Ed.
Special ed.
Special ed. That's right.
The two had sex multiple times at the teacher's Bronx home from last October to November, and in the evening and the early morning at the student's Bronx home in December.
Doesn't that make you mad that she's with the special ed kid?
Yep.
You'd think she'd do a little better than that.
Right. I mean, she thinks she'd be doing...
Hey, what are you, a retard?
The kid. Now, you always...
fucking a retard? Ow!
You're always saying, who's the kid that blows this?
She blowing a retard? Ow!
Why would you tell when you're having such a good time?
Of course.
Well, he did keep it a secret.
Yes.
He denied repeatedly that this was going on.
She's getting down with someone with Down syndrome. Ow!
Are you fucking this woman down?
Ow! But once the teacher broke up with him, he got upset, and he admitted it to his mother that they were getting it on.
I was fucking the teacher. I was taking my dick in the teacher, Ma.
Yeah, he felt jilted by her, so he came.
I was jilted by because I was eating her Tootsie.
So that's what you can't do.
I was eating her big hairy Tootsie.
You're going to sleep with these kids. You can't break up with them.
She could probably get away with not shaving fully with a retard.
Gilbert, did your teachers ever come on to you? Anything else, Robin?
Only Mr. Weinstein.
Oh, really? The Rolling Stone TV show. You remember that movie? It was kidnapping. It was about kidnapping Mick Jagger, the sitcom.
Oh, I was happy to see this. It got canceled.
It is gone because they couldn't get Mick, number one, to do anything. And so their big publicity effort was about how they got Mick Jagger to do a sitcom.
The original name...
And then he didn't want to do it.
The original name of this television show was Let's Rob Mick Jagger.
Right.
Okay. Obviously, Jagger freaked out a little bit, and they renamed it The Knights of Prosperity. It was produced by David Letterman's company. Now, Jagger agreed to do it, and then when they went to go film him, he was suddenly
nowhere to be found.
Unavailable. They had to shoot his entire season in 5 hours.
In New Zealand.
In New Zealand. They had to accommodate him. So it basically ruined the show. Now, they came to me. All right? They came to me during the production of this and said, what if we called it Let's Rob Howard Stern, and we want you to be the star of it?
And you said, what are you, a retard?
That's exactly what I said. I said, I need that like a hole in the head. I said, David Letterman's the producer. Why don't you rob David Letterman?
Because he's already had this happen to him.
Exactly. So I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, it's gone now. The audience never showed up because Jagger didn't.
Gilbert's looking at me like, fuck didn't you do it?
Yeah,
I do anything. I'm a fucking duck on television.
Yeah. I'm a duck, I'm a parrot, I'm a bee.
You never turned down anything, right?
No.
No, of course not. Anything that's offered to you, you would take, of course.
The other day we were talking about, well, we've been continually talking about Anna Nicole Smith. I forgot
What,
to
is she
mention...
fucking dead? Oh!
Dice Gottfried very much here today.
Yes. Dice Gottfried, were you at the funeral?
You know, Dice Gottfried, you ought to name your baby Bindi.
Or
Hey, you want a Bindi over? Oh!
Danny Lynn, there's a name.
What about Danny Lynn?
How about Takei Heed?
Anyway, Anna Nicole Smith. A lot of people came out of the woodwork and said they were sleeping with her after she died. They still don't know who the father of her baby is. Some of the interesting things I forgot to mention about the funeral was that one of the guests was Hulk Hogan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan.
I did not know that.
Did not know that, huh, Johnny?
Now, here's a true story.
This is wild.
This is for real.
I understand.
Yes.
I was reading the paper. There's a true story in the paper that Hulk Hogan was at the Anna Nicole Smith funeral.
Is that wild, Ed? Is that wild?
It was so wild.
And I was I actually had sex with Anna Nicole Smith.
Well, that's a true story.
That's true. This is a crazy part. I was supposed to come. I was supposed to pull out.
Right. You are correct.
And I actually shot my wife. And so therefore it is.
All right. So anyway, Hulk Hogan was a guest. He was invited by Howard K. Stern. Apparently, they are friends.
Well, this is wild. The K stands for kike.
Kike.
And another person now.
I have a Stern act.
What?
Okay. Sweeping up the kitchen, Rush Limbaugh and Anna Nicole Smith.
Sweeping up the kitchen.
That's right.
Rush Limbaugh and Anna Nicole Smith.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Name a chore, a bore, and a whore.
Simsalabim.
Thank you, oh great one. O.J. Simpson now says he slept.
Of course he did. Well, did he meet her? If he met her, he fucked her.
Is that really true?
Well, they were in Naked Gun 2 together.
Oh, I'm sure he banged the shit out of her. That's pre-murder, too.
Yeah, he says that,
and he's more ashamed of that.
And he says he has some pretty slow sperm, so he could be the father of that baby.
Always charming, O.J.
Joking, but that's...
well, that was his type, you know, the blonde and the... Yeah. I could see that happening.
Tom Cruise, is he, like, keeping...
Yes.
Katie Holmes...
prisoner?
In protective custody or something?
Well, he's a control freak from what I'm reading, if you can believe what you see in page 6. This guy, Tom Cruise... She gave up the role in Batman, the second Batman that they're producing, because he doesn't want her in love scenes with, I think it's Christian Bale is the guy's name.
Yeah.
And now she's in a movie that Tom approves of.
With Diane Keaton and Queen Latifah.
All girls.
Oh, jeez.
No, yeah, I mean, imagine, no, and they say the script is horrible.
But there are no love scenes.
But there are no love scenes. So he's got her under lock and key in a sense.
And he has already notified the producers he will be on the set every day.
Now, what is with this guy?
I thought he had jobs.
I read somewhere, like, he's very big on making out with her when people are watching.
Really?
I heard he's got something to prove.
Now, that's disgusting.
I heard he was making out with her in front of his mother.
Oh.
It was like...
Oh, that's vile.
Yeah. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, well, they also say that...
and listen, he knows creepy.
Yeah.
I have another Stern act.
Okay.
Already on a roll.
Based on the last story there. A famous cowboy's horse, Eminem, and O.J. Simpson.
A famous cowboy's horse, O.J.
And
Eminem.
And O.J.
That's correct. Name a trigger, a wigger, and an African-American.
I thought the N-word was coming up.
No, never. Never the N-word, no.
Not from the great one.
A wigger,
and an
African-American. All right. That's very good. All right.
All right, they're also moving into a compound in California where...
What is the second one?
Wigger.
Oh, wigger.
Right, go ahead, Robin, please.
They're also moving into a compound in California that has enough room for classrooms for his kids because his sister homeschools his children.
Tom Cruise, yes.
That's not too creepy.
Everything about him is creepy.
What is...
Were you a big Johnny Carson fan, Gilbert? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Yes.
I want to fuck your nigger tits.
Oh, my God.
What?
That was a callback from the last show.
That's a callback from 3 months
People
ago.
might not understand it. They might think you're a racist.
Yes.
We wouldn't want them thinking that.
Will this baby be a chip off the old block?
Yes.
Anyway, the Atkins diet has been declared okay by the AMA, the American Medical Association, begrudgingly had to give its seal of approval to the Atkins diet after all these years, after running some tests and finding a bunch of women who were on the high-protein diet and lost weight. So they say it is a viable alternative in your weight loss regime.
Okay. All right.
The astronaut was probably driven crazy by some lusty email she read from her rival for the affections of a male astronaut who was up in the space shuttle. She got a hold of these email where the woman was talking about making love to the guy she was in love with, who she had declared to his mother that she was going to leave her husband for so that she could marry. When she found out there was a girl who was rivaling her for his affection, it just drove her crazy. She jumped into a diaper, got behind the wheel of her car, and drove 900 miles to try to kidnap her.
She got knocked out of the news totally by Anna Nicole Smith.
I know, but she's back because Anna Nicole is in the ground.
You know, Ed McMahon put out a audiobook. You know that?
No.
Yeah.
Johnny, you didn't read...
You didn't read that, Johnny?
I don't read what that fat fuck has to say.
Yeah, listen to that.
I've always hated it.
One afternoon, I jacked off Lawrence Welk while Johnny beat his meat from an easy chair in his studio. Carson was coming so hard he shit in my hand.
Whoa! That's amazing.
Yeah, he did an audiobook. Fascinating stories.
There's nothing sacred.
In April of my senior year in college, I was paying a lot of money to get a little boy named Gordon to milk my colon.
Great stories in that book.
I remember one evening when Art Linkletter butt-fucked a beautiful English sheepdog named Patrick.
Great stories in the Ed McMahon book.
What? I can't believe you didn't read this book.
How's that not a bestseller?
Once I asked the little boy, please start eating my penis. Carson was willing to do just about anything for a blowjob from a cute young child.
Oh, my God.
In April of my senior year in college, I was paying a lot of money to get a little boy named Gordon to milk my colon.
All right, enough.
That's worth hearing again.
Like that
It's a great book. I'm not going to play you the whole book.
How much would it be to get Gordon to milk his colon? I'm curious.
When Johnny and I started doing The Tonight Show, we did anything we could think of to fill Doc Severinson's tight little ass hole with Johnny's enormous, nasty man meat.
Man meat.
With her feet behind her head, Raquel Welch shit on my penis, then tried to pee in Doc Severinson's face.
Wow. This is heady stuff.
Raquel Welch shit.
Johnny loved shitting on Lonnie Anderson's big tits.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a fabulous book. It's honest.
Winning a Pulitzer.
At least he waited till Johnny was dead.
Yeah, but I don't think it's right to reveal this stuff now.
Don't tell the Raquel shitting on your dick story till I'm in the ground.
It's a great, great book.
I love the challenge of trying to hold down the little boy while Johnny sucked his tiny penis.
What a great challenge. It's an incredible book. I've read it many times.
Where do you get this book?
In Richard's studio.
After spraying my face with cum, Dom DeLuise put his hand down Johnny's pants and squirted shit straight down Johnny's mouth.
Oh, my.
Zsa Zsa Gabor has mammoth cunt lips.
Tell us something we don't know, eh?
No, it's really good.
I remember one evening when things got completely out of control. Doc Severinsen licked my nuts, while Johnny fucked George Burns, who shot his cum all over Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet's foreheads, while Jerry Lewis shit ice cream on Red Skelton's crotch. And then Steve Allen stuck a fire extinguisher up Jack Benny shit came while Andy Williams sniffed coke off Dom DeLuise. Penis, that was a tough night.
Come on, this stuff is not true.
I don't know about that. If it's in a book, you got to relieve it.
It can't.
He wrote it. He wrote it.
It's the ugly side of show business.
At most, it took only a couple of hours a day to gather whatever boys I needed to fondle and but fun.
All right, Rob, is there anything else in the news?
Yes, we got to get Ed to just shut up.
Ed's got a lot of great stories.
He wrote that book with Larry Flynn.
There's a realtor, one of these high-profile realtors out in the Hamptons who is in the paper under arrest today. They said he had a bunch of kiddie porn.
I don't care what he has if he can get me a rental.
Kiddie porn on his computer, and they can't
What
believe
is his
it.
website?
He's the real estate guy who runs the branch of England Volkers out in the Hamptons. He was dragged shamefaced from his Sag Harbor home late Monday after investigators found him posting kiddie porn on the internet chat room.
Nobody knows
he's going
to get caught when they do that. I mean, what do they think of these pedophiles?
A preliminary search of his computer collection of child pornography included images of boys and girls engaged in bondage and sexual activity. Some of the images featured the guy himself smearing feces on himself.
Ooh. Is this from the Ed McMahon book?
I smeared feces on Johnny's dick.
One time a realtor out east got me to shit fuck my asshole.
It's dangerous to die here.
Von Reddy, a German national with a single count of possessing
May the bird of happiness shit on your head.
But said he would likely face additional charges as things go on. He is described as a playboy, and it was difficult for people to believe that he could have been up to this stuff. The police say he has admitted to being involved in this, but his pals say that he's telling them that some friend who came to the house might have put these images on his computer. He blamed a German guest who was involved in child pornography, who stayed at his house last year. Meanwhile, he was just, I think, about to marry his very beautiful and pregnant girlfriend.
Oh, great. So you invite these German friends of yours over, and they're... Imagine that's true, and they're looking at internet porn and kiddie porn, and then you get fucking in jail from that? God,
One night, out of nowhere, a sweet, innocent choir boy gagged on my elderly nuts, and then yellow discharge erupted from my minuscule penis.
That happened out of nowhere?
Out of nowhere. He's sucking on his nuts.
Gilbert was just telling us about his honeymoon.
Yeah. It was kind of like the Ed McMahon.
Sounds great.
Well, here's a honeymoon in Salt Lake City you don't want to emulate. They say it wasn't the most romantic of honeymoons. Police say the groom is in jail accused of trying to run over his new wife after a weekend wedding in Las Vegas.
I know the feeling.
They were still honeymooning when he ran her over.
He should have drove her in the fucking leg.
Police received an emergency call.
Can I give you a lift, honey?
Police received an emergency
let's take the bridge.
Call.
It's much quicker that way.
On Monday from someone
I'll
reporting...
get you wet, honey.
Someone reporting a couple fighting in a car as they traveled on Highland Drive about 10 miles southeast of Salt Lake City.
Jump out of the car, bitch.
Well, that's what she did, Gilbert. They say she jumped out of the car.
Get the water running.
And started walking away when her new husband drove off the road and hit her with the car.
Carson was willing to
drown.
Carson was willing to do just about anything for a blowjob from a cute young child.
Luckily, she wasn't seriously injured. Meanwhile, this is a horrible story.
More horrible than that last Carson story?
It takes away the whole charm of the Tonight Show.
Right. Blows the lid off it.
A 2-year-old boy who was staying, he is now staying with relatives after witnessing a horrific act by his father. According to the Connecticut Post, police in Bridgeport, Connecticut say a 21-year-old man stabbed his wife several times before handing the bloody knife to his son and telling him, "Now you stab Mommy." Oh, police aren't sure if the child obeyed the order. Authorities say that Furman Rodriguez and his wife got into an argument after he accused her of cheating.
Is your name Furman Rodriguez?
Rodriguez.
And what's your wife's name?
Sue.
Her name is Sue?
Rodriguez then allegedly picked up a kitchen knife and began slashing her in the face, chest, and arms and legs.
Now, did you stab her in the chest and legs?
Police say as the victim bled on the floor, Rodriguez handed the weapon to his son and demanded he join in the vicious attack. The wife was taken to a hospital where she's being treated for multiple stab wounds. It didn't even kill her.
Now, if she gets a lawyer, what can the lawyer do?
Sue.
He'll sue?
David Brenner liked to fuck George Goebel's asshole with Tommy Newsom's minuscule cock.
Once I asked the little boy, please start eating my penis.
President Bush says he sees some encouraging signs in
it's very disturbing.
New policy in Iraq. Number one.
You know the work that goes into that?
What?
Even at this early hour.
Those clips.
Oh.
Even at this early hour, there's some encouraging signs.
All right.
He doesn't tell us what the signs are. He says he's encouraged by what's going on in Iraq.
Retard.
Meanwhile, Bob Dole heard about what was going on at Walter Reed, and he said somebody made a big mistake.
Somebody goofed. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Thank you. And we talked about this morning. Scooter Libby was found guilty by a jury yesterday. Here's the ambassador, Joe Wilson, whose wife was outed during that whole controversy. He says that Bush should apologize to his wife. Number three.
For 34 years, I looked forward to going to the bathroom in Johnny Carson's mouth every day.
That's not the ambassador.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button.
The president did say today that he expressed sorrow for Mr. Libby and Mr. Libby's family. It might be helpful for the president to express some sorrow to my wife for what his people have done to her in compromising her identity as a covert CIA officer and in destroying her career.
Absolutely.
Now, why will Scott DePace continue to argue that nothing was done to this woman?
I don't know.
Here's the ambassador again. Bush should apologize for the faulty war intelligence as well.
The president might express some sorrow to the American people that a key part of the justification under which we sent our soldiers to kill and to die in a foreign country in our name, a key part of that justification was simply bogus.
What is it, Scott? You wanted to answer Robin's question? Is that it?
Yeah, I don't see what is so bad that has happened to her. Her life was not threatened. She can work in any number of jobs.
You don't know anything about it. What if your wife worked for the CIA, covert operation?
She could still work for the CIA. She was not covert at the time.
But stop it.
That man doesn't know what he's talking about. That was his wife. Why is he saying that?
Because he hates the Republicans and Bush.
Oh,
Obviously, he's got an agenda.
You know that for a fact. You know he has an agenda. I mean, anybody who is wronged has an agenda.
That is why this whole thing started in the first place, because the reporter, I forget his name.
It has nothing to do with the fact that the woman was outed.
Novak asked, why would you send a guy who's not
how do you know
into
so much?
the administration? Because I watch his stuff.
How are you so brilliant?
Because I watch all the stuff, and I'm very
the director
smart.
on the Howard Stern Show. You should be the director of all things in America.
Why aren't you working for
How are you so brilliant? You just work on this radio show.
I'm just telling you what's wrong and right. You don't out when you're a United States citizen and a member of the government, and someone is in covert CIA operations. You do not out them. You're not part of the line coming up.
You're assuming that there was
Goodbye.
some. No.
Now.
You're assuming that they were trying to hurt this woman. I don't think it was the case. Hi, George.
You know they're shooting you at the top of your head while you talk? Look at the TV. Thank you.
I'm surprised you were able to do that.
I knew you when you had a full head of hair.
Hey, you big bull fuck.
Go ahead now. Go back and think.
Get the fuck out!
Try. So anyway, Louis Scooter Libby has been convicted. Here is his attorney, Ted Wells, who says that Libby is totally innocent and will appeal. Number 11.
All right.
We are very disappointed in the verdict of the jurors. This jury deliberated for approximately 10 days.
He says he intends to file a motion for a new trial and will start making plans for a formal appeal. Libby was the only person charged in the 3-year-old CIA leak probe. Some people are saying he is the scapegoat.
That's true.
Falling on the sword for the administration. Here is the special prosecutor, Patrick Fitzgerald, said he's gratified and added that the facts in the case were clear. Number 10.
The jury was obviously convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant had lied and obstructed justice in a serious manner. The results are actually sad. It's sad that we had a situation where a high-level official, a person who worked in the office of vice president, obstructed justice and lied under oath.
All right.
So there, Scott. I don't care what you say. The jury thought he was guilty.
Mm-hmm.
An estimated 85% of adults have gambled at least once in their lifetimes. Most can do this without consequence. However, the National Council on Problem Gambling says that between 3 and 4% of gamblers nationwide have a problem. Number 12.
All right.
Problem gambling is a preventable and treatable disorder, and that there is hope and help, and that we hope that through this week and around during the year, people will take the time to think about it a little bit.
Is this the reason you quit? It is National Gambling Awareness Week.
By the way, no, I didn't know about that, but I just want to make clear, I quit illegal gambling. In other words, like in Atlantic City and Vegas, I'll still gamble.
Oh. You didn't tell us there was a stipulation.
We thought you quit gambling, period.
No, my problem was clearly the illegal gambling.
That's right. That's why you met with your bookie to say goodbye.
Right, you pick up a phone and it's right there. But I'll still, I don't want to seem like a hypocrite. I will still gamble.
Already changed since this morning.
No, it never changed. I always said, I forgot to say, it's just...
Is it kind of like when you're off coke, but you'll drink into oblivion?
Right.
Okay, all right. I understand.
It's very different. Illegal gambling's a problem for me. Legal gambling has never been a problem.
All right.
Artie, it's legal to gamble with your weight loss. You can do that legally. I'm still on that. We want to see you healthy.
All right.
And you have a responsibility as a captain of your team.
I'm just trying to say, I know about this national gambling thing, but I don't want to seem like a hypocrite to you and the fans.
All right.
Well,
I will be legally gambling forever.
When do you know if somebody has a problem with gambling? This guy says that there are some telltale behaviors. Number 13.
All right, let's see what
when they're telling you their daughter gives a mean blowjob.
If you're preoccupied with gambling, thoughts of gambling, for example, are often causing you to lose sleep. If your gambling is out of control, in other words, if you're unable to set a limit and stick to it, you often gamble until your last dollar's gone. And then last, if gambling is causing harm to you or your family, are you missing days from work, or bills going unpaid?
Again, there is a reason they're doing this now. March Madness is insane.
Yeah. That's why they declared this the week. And finally,
I'm glad I'm out of it for one.
Jennifer Hudson is being honored everywhere. So I guess she returned to her hometown of Chicago yesterday.
Can't get enough for her.
I hate that.
Don't you love all these people who have these incredible things happen to them, and then they say, yes, always, fight for your dreams. Like most schmucks' dreams are not gonna
People who go around saying fight for your dreams are misleading everyone.
What about Derek Jeter's the worst with that. Derek Jeter has videos out going, you could do whatever you want.
Sure you can.
You can be whatever
I want to be on the Yankees.
you want. Yeah, exactly.
I'm 53. Welcome me.
Yeah.
Here's Jennifer Hudson. You can achieve your dreams. Number 6.
No, she can. And believe me, she ain't going to achieve another dream. She's out of the movie.
She's finished dreaming.
You're damn right.
I just wanted to bring it here for you all to see, because if you can see it, you can achieve it.
I just want to fuck who Derek Jeter's fucking all day.
I got to say, I feel so horrible for this story. This place that was going to get to be part of television history. You see this with The Sopranos?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I know this place, Halston's Bakery and ice cream shop in Bloomfield. Did you read this, Howard?
No.
The guy was going to be... The Sopranos were going to shoot the last scene of the last fucking episode of the show at this guy's ice cream parlor in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
What happened?
Halston's. And the town council thinks the show is too anti-Italian, so they banned it. The guy wants to fucking slit his wrist. You know what that would have done for business?
That would have been great.
He would have been like, cheers.
Yeah.
That is
Poor
terrible.
bastard.
I mean, I'm Italian. There's nothing offensive about the fucking show.
No one thinks all Italians are The
But
Sopranos.
how can the town ban them from coming in?
Yeah.
To this guy's establishment. It's business.
Anything else, Robin?
Here's Jennifer Hudson performing Dreamgirls.
Every man has his own special dream, and that dream's just about to come true. Life's not as bad as it may seem if you open your eyes to what's in front of you. When you dream, girl.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
She's fantastic.
You
and
like
here's,
that?
I adore
here's the
music.
mayor of Chicago who tells everyone he's so proud of Jennifer.
Yes, I imagine he is.
Number 8.
I know I speak for everyone in Chicago when I said that we could not be more proud of Jennifer Hudson and all she has accomplished at such a young age.
Boy, I tell you, that is a great song, though. She was really belting. You know who else belts it out? Listen to this. See if you recognize who this is. You guess Gilbert Gottfried, you're right. He's terrific.
You gotta love those great singers.
All right, Robin.
And that's what's happening.
Hey,
Gilbert, yes, Artie?
Real quick, this Saturday I will be signing my DVD at in the Boston area at the Newbury Comics, somewhere in the Boston area.
When you're signing a DVD,
this
it's
Saturday.
important to do it with a pen.
Hey, can I just say something?
One of the Newbury Comics.
I know you have a development deal with Fox, and I think this woman on the phone has a good idea. And I want to, real quick, what is, Anna, what's your idea? Say it real quick.
Hi, sweetie. That Artie and Sulu should have a show, like an Odd Couple show.
Remake The Odd Couple with Artie and George.
Okay,
I like it. Get to work on that, Artie.
George?
You originally,
You into this, George?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
You especially. You've got to be a part of the package.
I'm not the package.
See Gilbert Gottfried this Thursday night at 8 o'clock at Caroline's on Broadway, Manhattan. He'll probably be taking a sabbatical when his baby is born. And
That's right. He might not be on the road much after the child.
That's right. He doesn't want to miss a day of it. 212-757-4100. Congratulations again on your marriage, Gilbert. It sounds like a great,
more importantly, my DVD.
To purchase Gilbert's DVD, Dirty Jokes, where his wife now is the executive producer, go to GilbertGottfried.com. That's GilbertGottfried.com. G-O-T-T. That's right, 2 T's. F-R-T-T. F-R-I-E.